Hello and welcome to part 2 of using the templates plugin with Chiori-chan's web server. In my last tutorial I just went over the basics of how to take a basic template that I downloaded for free off the internet, and we splitted it up into a themes and a basic index page. In this tutorial I would like to get into a little bit more about the annotations, most specifically the annotations that are specific to the templates plugin. Now there is a few additional annotations that are server specific, but I will cover those at a later date. And there's also very few of them, since the annotations idea was mostly I came up with it for the templates plugin, since it was to me, as I was developing this through the years, it seemed to be one of the most logical ways to get stuff into the templates plugin from a specific file. So, but anyways, enough with that ramble. One of the first annotation tags that I would like to demonstrate is the title tag. So what this basically will do is, you can probably guess, is it will set the title for the page. So if we set the title to home page in this instance and refresh, you'll see that this title is actually now printed up on the top of the page. Now obviously you can actually see homepage-Chiori framework. For one, Chiori framework is actually the name of the site we're working out of, since it's localhost. If you created your own web root, this would get named to whatever you set it to. So that's basically self-explanatory. And then the next one I want to demonstrate is going to be the view annotation. Now, this is actually we're going to get into a little more detail on how to actually set up a view. But basically, for starters, what you see here is a template, and then right here is what we had for our page content. A view is basically a secondary container within the theme. So I already created a folder over here, Chiori-chan, there's themes and views. Now I do want to just let everybody know that's watching this that you can basically create this structure however you want under resources. It's basically free to however you do it. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to, you could go as simple as that and literally have portfolio right under resource. Of course, I find that using a namespace makes a whole lot more sense, and it's just convenient. But however you want to do it is fine. But I do recommend at least sorting out your themes under themes, commons, and your views. There's going to be a couple more, just so it makes things easier. So we're going to go ahead and create a view for this site, this example site. So we'll do views, and we'll call the view portfolio. Okay. So then what we're going to do, we're going to go back here to our main site, and as you can see, there's going to be you could technically, even though this is really a poor example of a view, you could basically say that basically things like this on the top and the bottom are our view, but we want to put the page content here. Because, you know, maybe this might want to change on some pages. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and find where it starts. Okay, so as you can see, we have a container callout right here. And here's our page data. So I see that's on the top. Here's our content. So if I was to go here, right through here, this technically would be the view. So we'll go ahead and chop that out. And we're going to make a file, portfolio. Okay, we'll go ahead and paste this in, save that. And then we got to do the same thing, since I actually just removed it. Page data. So this tells, again, the template plugin where to put its sub-content. Then we have this one here, and then as you can see we still have our page data, and then there's the theme and the view. So now I'm going to go ahead and refresh, and if it's successful, this shouldn't change. And voila, there's no change. So to demonstrate that tag exactly, if I go and actually take the view tag out and refresh, you'll see that now the top and the bottom of this window disappears. So what I'm going to do here, for demonstration's sake, is I'm going to go ahead and create another file, and this one will be called, let's say, view number 2. Oop, why did that happen? Okay, so we'll call it view number 2. I'm going to go ahead and copy this over, and to make it look like it's different, we're going to go, you know, companies contact. I don't know, you know. So now if I go back into our index here, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be view number 2. Refresh. You'll see now what I wrote in view number 2 appears on the top. So that is the convenience of views and themes. So basically, to give you an example, theme would be your overall theme, your title, menus, footers, while view would be your page content. So with some sites, as an example, you might have an index page layout. Well, on another page you have a sidebar on the right, another page you might have a sidebar on the left, and then you might altogether have another page that's completely nothing. It's just one nice fixed column in the center. So that's what's nice about view. So we'll go ahead and we'll change this back. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about here is, I mentioned this in the previous tutorial, was how to take the HTML body and head tags out of this file and properly get them to format in the page. Because like I pointed out, the web server actually prints these in itself. And additionally, let me point out here, just in case you missed it in the last tutorial, in the template config where it said default doc type, that's this right here. So according to the W3 standards, I think might be where it's specified. Oh, hey, their website's right here, so yes. Just putting HTML is perfectly acceptable. You can do like what they did in this template, where you actually reference it, but it's actually just acceptable to do that. So anyways, so I'm going to quickly go over how to properly get this to show up. So what we're going to do is we have what's called a commons. And there's one thing one thing that I'll mention is that the web server works off of conventions. There is a lot of conventions involved. If you know what the conventions are, it will make development easier. But I'm just going to quickly mention that for this convention, it's called default. Yeah, real brilliant, right? Anyways, point is, when you have the default under common, this is what is always going to be printed. It's always going to go to default. You don't have to go in here and say, oh yeah, my commons for this is default. No, it's just, you don't need to do that, because it's going to pull it anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and pull the head data right here. We're going to put it into the default, and we're going to go ahead and remove the head and body tags here. So we'll take those off. Oop, take the body off too. There we go. And we'll go over here. You don't need the char set. I mean, actually technically you could. Take out the title and refresh. Oh, you know what? I think I actually have the file named wrong. Shoot. I might be rusty on what that file name is actually supposed to be. Let me take a look here real quick. Go. I do apologize for this. Oh, okay, there's my problem. I am actually wrong. It is not commons, it's actually includes. And this, the default, is actually common. Okay. There's my screw up. I do apologize for that. That was really annoying of me. So anyways, we'll go ahead and reopen that. There we go. Alright, now we refresh. And as you can see, the includes common will be automatically inserted in between the header tags. So we'll go refresh again. And there we go. So as you can see now, right under the body, the HTML and the head tag are no longer repeated like it was before. So, it seems like I'm going long enough here on this second part of the tutorial. So that pretty much sums up what you can do. So again, I'll recap here. We just basically covered some of the additional annotations. There is a couple more I could cover, which I might just cover in the next tutorial. And we covered how to actually take your head information, put it into a commons include, and then get it to properly show up. So that concludes this part 2, and I will see everybody later.